Water Wall. Let's start with one of Tobirama's most classic moves, the water wall. This technique was born in the middle of the Warring States era, back when getting hit by a fireball from an Uchiha was basically a daily routine. And what did Tobirama do? He didn't bring a bucket. He invented a wall made of water with no river in sight. The idea behind this jutsu is simple but genius. Tobirama compresses water chakra in his body, then releases it in a high-pressure stream from his mouth. That stream forms a huge wall that can block enemy attacks, especially fire-style jutsu. It's like spitting out your own anti-fire insurance. What makes this jutsu so wild is that he doesn't need any water nearby. Unlike other water-style users who cry at deserts, Tobirama just generates the water from his chakra. That's not just clever, it's terrifying. The wall isn't just a tiny puddle either. It's massive. It can shield multiple allies, block large-scale attacks, and even buy enough time for a strategic counter. You know, like teleporting behind your enemy and stabbing them in the back, Tobirama style. But of course, even this brilliant defense has its limits. Keeping the wall up takes a lot of chakra, especially if he has to hold it for a long time. And if the enemy uses genjutsu or taijutsu, well, a wall won't save your brain or your bones. One great moment we see this in action is in Naruto Shippuden. Tobirama uses water wall to block a fire wave during a flashback. His teammates were about to get barbecued, but he swooped in with a tsunami from his lungs and gave them a second chance. Then, classic move, he followed up with Flying Thunder God. Hold up, we're getting super close to 19,007 subscribers, and our next big goal is to reach 25,000. If you enjoyed this video, found it informative, or just had fun diving deeper into the world of Naruto with us, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Every single click from you is a huge motivation for our team. It's what keeps us going, creating even better and more detailed content. Thank you so much for supporting AnimeZONE. Now, Water Dragon Bullet. Alright, so what do you do when blocking's not enough? You throw a dragon at your problems. That's right, a literal water dragon. And no, it doesn't roar. It splashes with extreme violence as a high-powered offensive technique. Inspired by the image of the dragon, strength, elegance, and intimidation, this jutsu summons a giant water serpent straight from Chakra. No summoning scroll, no hidden lake. Just pure skill. Once formed, the dragon charges at the enemy with speed and force. It's flexible too. If the target dodges, the dragon curves midair and gives chase. It's like the homing missile of water jutsu, but 10 times angrier. Mechanically, the jutsu compresses chakra into high-pressure water, then shapes it into a dragon form. That shape isn't just for looks. It focuses the force, letting it hit harder than a blunt force tidal wave. If you're in the wrong spot, that thing will fold you like wet laundry. It's excellent for breaking formations, overwhelming defenses, or just being dramatically over the top. But like all powerful things, it's got a price. First, it eats chakra like crazy. Second, it takes time to form, so if your opponent is faster, say goodbye to your water lizard. And third, lightning beats water, so it's toast if someone like Kakashi shocks the pool. Water Severing Wave. Now, let's talk about flooding the battlefield. Not figuratively, literally. Tobirama's water-severing wave, or Suishoha, is the kind of move that makes every terrain advantage disappear. He doesn't like dry ground, so he makes his own lake, on demand. This jutsu was also created during the Warring States era. Tobirama designed it to completely change the terrain in his favor. When fighting multiple enemies, or just one really annoying Uchiha, why not turn the battlefield into a swimming pool? Tobirama gathers a massive amount of chakra, then unleashes a wave of water that surges out and drowns the surroundings. It's not a gentle tide, it's more like a flood-level disaster. Buildings? Gone. Escape routes? Washed away. Your shoes? Floating downstream. The strength of this jutsu lies in two things. First, he can create the water from his chakra, so again, no lake needed. Second, once the water is there, he can combo it with his other techniques. Imagine teleporting mid-flood and stabbing someone while they're dog paddling. That's Tobirama's kind of humor. But it's not perfect. It drains chakra fast, so spamming it isn't smart. And if the enemy can fly or use lightning-style jutsu, Then this turns into a giant electric trap for both sides. Also, let's be honest, not every teammate wants to be dunked mid-fight. Friendly fire is real when your battlefield becomes Atlantis. Flying Thunder God. Now we get to the technique that made Tobirama a nightmare on the battlefield, the Flying Thunder God. This isn't just teleportation, this is God tier, blink and you're dead warfare. Tobirama invented this before he even hit 20. Let that sink in. While most kids are learning basic clone techniques, he was busy rewriting physics. So how does it work? Tobirama marks locations or objects with a special formula, usually a kunai, sometimes an enemy. Once marked, he can teleport to that spot instantly. There's no light show, no warm-up. Just poof, he's behind you. It's like having the nether portal from Minecraft, except you can stab people after you exit. This isn't summoning, it's dimensional travel. He vanishes from space, then reappears somewhere else in the same instant. That gives him ridiculous combat flexibility. Dodge attacks, teleport teammates, drop surprise combos. The possibilities are endless. But there are limits. He needs to prep in advance by placing the marks. No mark, no teleport. Also, teleporting large groups or big objects costs more chakra. And if the enemy figures out how to avoid or remove the mark, he's got to improvise. Still, when used right, it's game-breaking. Tobirama uses Flying Thunder God to move multiple Hokage across the battlefield to outplay Obito. The guy turned the battlefield into a 3D chessboard, and he was playing 5 turns ahead. It's no surprise Minato later took this jutsu and ran with it. But Tobirama, he was the original, the master of vanishing death. Flying Thunder God Slash. Okay, so teleportation is cool. But teleporting with a sword? That's next level assassin stuff. And that's exactly what Tobirama built with Hiraishin Giri, the Flying Thunder God Slash. This is what happens when you take Tobirama's teleportation jutsu and combine it with deadly precision swordsmanship. The result? A move so fast, even Sharingan users have a hard time keeping up. Just ask Izuna Uchiha. Oh wait, you can't. Here's the idea. Tobirama places a mark on or near the enemy. Then, in the blink of an eye, he teleports next to them and slashes with pinpoint accuracy. Not a wild swing, a surgical strike aimed to end the fight in one clean hit. The genius is in the surprise. You don't even see the slash coming. You just hear whoosh, and suddenly your HP bar is at 0. It's not flashy. It's not loud. It's just effective. But of course, this move depends heavily on prep. You need the mark. You need the timing. You need excellent sword control. If you mess up the angle or speed, the target might survive. Worse, if they've got strong defense like Susanoo, your blade won't even scratch them. Still, in the right hands, this is a perfect assassination tool. Tobirama uses it against Izuna, Madara's brother, in a flashback. Despite Izuna having a Mangekyo Sharingan, he couldn't react in time. One slash, and it was over. It proves one thing. Tobirama didn't just teleport. He calculated, he planned. And when the time was right, he ended you in one move. Reanimation Jutsu. Now this is where things get creepy. Edo Tensei is the forbidden fruit of Tobirama's genius. And let me tell you, it's rotten, powerful, and insanely useful. This isn't just summoning a toad or a snake. Tobirama straight up figured out how to drag souls from the afterlife and shove them into someone else's body like a ninja horror movie. Yeah, that's a sentence I just said. This jutsu likely came from Tobirama's deep emotional trauma. After losing his brothers Idama and Kawarama in the chaos of the Warring States era, the guy basically asked, "What if I bring them back?" Only problem? You don't get your brother. You get a zombie version with infinite chakra and regeneration. Not exactly a heartwarming reunion. The mechanics are wild. First, you need a sacrifice, a living body. Then, using special seals and a truckload of chakra, you summon the soul of a dead person from the Pure Land. Their mind and memories return, and their body regenerates from any injury. Even if you blow them up, they're back in seconds. It's like fighting a boss with infinite respawns. Fun, right? Now imagine that but with an army. Tobirama could have ended wars with this technique, but he realized just how messed up it was, so he labeled it a forbidden jutsu and never used it while alive. Irony? When he got revived in the Fourth Great Ninja War, he used his own technique to help fight Obito. Talk about poetic justice. Tobirama coordinates with the other Hokage using Edo Tensei to build pressure on Obito. He might have been dead, but his tactics, still terrifyingly sharp. But remember, the reanimated can sometimes break free. Madara did it, and when Madara breaks your rules, you know you built something too good. Tandem paper bombs. Alright, if Edo Tensei was scary, this one is just straight up overkill. Tandem paper bombs is basically what happens when Tobirama decides normal explosions aren't explodey enough. Why settle for one boom when you can chain together 100 per second? This technique takes full advantage of Edo Tensei's infinite regeneration. Here's the plan. Reanimate a body, stuff it with exploding tags, then make it go boom. And because it can regenerate, it goes boom again and again and again until the enemy either runs, cries, or both. It's like handing someone a grenade and saying, "Don't worry, it resets every time." You think Deidara had impressive explosions? Nah, Tobirama's version doesn't even need style. It's pure destruction on loop. Ideal for breaking enemy formations or stalling giant threats, like say the Ten Tails. Tobirama uses this exact move after being reanimated himself. It doesn't kill the Ten Tails, but it throws a serious wrench in Obito's plans. If nothing else, the enemy now has a PTSD flashback every time they hear a pop sound. Downside, you can't use this without Edo Tensei. No undead body, no infinite bombs. It's also hard to control, so friendly fire is a very real risk. Not the kind of thing you use during sparring matches, unless you want to end the sparring match forever. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Ah yes, the classic. Everyone loves this one. Naruto spammed it. Kakashi used it tactically. But guess who invented it? Yup, Tobirama freaking Senju. Most people don't realize Kage Bunshin is actually a forbidden technique. Why? Because it splits your chakra evenly between each clone. Make one? You're fine. Make 10? You're tired. Make 100? You better be Naruto, or you're passing out face first into a tree. Each clone is a full-body copy, not a basic illusion. They can punch, throw jutsu, and most importantly, learn. When a clone poofs, all its experiences go straight back into the original's brain. It's ninja multitasking on steroids. Tobirama used this not just to overwhelm in battle, but to gather intel fast. And you know the guy, tactical as ever. Send clones in every direction, collect battlefield data, then regroup and strike where it hurts most. Tobirama later banned this technique too, probably because he realized how easy it was to abuse in peacetime. Like, imagine kids using clones to skip class. Tobirama wouldn't have that. Still, it remains one of the most versatile jutsu in the series. And yes, Naruto totally stole his thunder. Kenjutsu. Alright, let's talk swords. Not just any swordplay. This is Tobirama's water-coated, teleport-slashing, blink-and-you're-done kind of swordplay. Back in the Warring States era, close combat wasn't optional. It was life or death. And Tobirama, he didn't just swing a blade, he weaponized it with precision, chakra flow, and a whole lot of hatred for the Uchiha. He often coated his blade with water-release chakra. Why? Because he wasn't trying to slice. He was trying to cut through air, bones, and probably your future in one move. That water coating gave his swings more edge, literally. Sometimes it even created rippling water waves that extended his range, like a mini tsunami with a handle. But here's the real kicker. Combine that with flying Raijin, now we're cooking with danger. Tobirama could mark you, teleport right behind you, and slice before you even blinked. 1 second you're trash talking, next second you're a warning lesson for other ninjas. Of course, it wasn't perfect. Against heavy defense like Susanoo, his sword might as well be a wet stick. And if the enemy is faster or stronger in taijutsu, well, it turns into a real knife fight. Chakra sensory perception. Now, if you thought Tobirama's sword was dangerous, wait till you see what he does with his brain. Tobirama was basically walking radar. And not the meh, I sense something kind. I'm talking sniper-level chakra GPS that could tell you where someone was, who their grandpa was, and probably what chakra type their dog had. This sensory ability came naturally from his Senju bloodline, but Tobirama refined it into something elite. He could sense chakra signatures from insane distances and even identify unique ones, like the Ninetales, or a certain masked guy who wouldn't stop monologuing. And yes, this came in very handy during wars. He used it to locate Obito before launching a counterattack with the other Hokage. Tobirama, being so precise when he sensed Madara's chakra, right after he got revived by Orochimaru. But it's not invincible. Some jutsu can mask chakra, and if an enemy uses suppression techniques, Tobirama's radar could get fuzzy. Also, sensory doesn't tell you what jutsu the enemy knows. So yeah, you might detect Madara. But then what? It's still God tier. If you're in a war, you want Tobirama on your team. Unless you're the Uchiha, then maybe don't. Bringer of Darkness Technique. Bringer of Darkness Technique, or as I like to call it, the Turn Off the Lights no Jutsu. This genjutsu was created by Tobirama, possibly during the Warring States era, and it's meant to mess with ninja who rely too much on their eyes. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Uchiha. It made its appearance in the manga, and get this. It was strong enough to fool Hiruzen, the third Hokage himself. That's not just skill, that's pure yin release mastery. Here's how it works. Tobirama casts an illusion that shrouds the entire battlefield in pitch-black darkness. Total sensory blackout. The enemy can't see, can't aim, can't even tell where they're standing. Imagine someone just pulled the plug on the whole arena. It's panic mode for everyone caught inside. The trick behind it? It uses yin release to scramble the senses and create a heavy illusion of shadow. It's especially deadly against enemies who rely on visual jutsu like Sharingan or long-range attacks. Since it affects multiple enemies at once, it's perfect for Tobirama to combine with Flying Raijin or a surprise water-style strike. Think of it as a genjutsu version of a horror game fog machine. The enemy's blind, lost, and wide open for a slash. But of course, it's not all powerful. Chakra sensors or dojutsu like the Byakugan can see through it. And if someone's got a strong Mangekyo or solid genjutsu resistance, they might break out fast. It also eats up a chunk of chakra if you try to cover a large area. Oh, and fun fact, Tobirama only used this while reincarnated. We don't know for sure if he ever pulled it off when he was alive. But knowing him, he probably did, just to scare the Uchiha. Thank you for watching till the end. See ya in the next video.